Greetings, y'all. Welcome to Karen Hope's Solid Hour of Inspiration. This here is the YouTube channel where you and I, through a solid exchange of positive energy, love and light and all that good stuff, we grow inspiration right here together, like seriously. Seriously, that's the goal. Inspiration growers. Yes. Well, anyway, I'm glad to be here today, and I'm glad you're here. Okay, I can't do this without you. I cannot do this without your energy. You're helping me. Thank you so much for being part of this experience, y'all. You know what? You know what else this is, too? This is the channel where every time I click record, somebody wants to text me. Do you know that I don't get text messages until I click record? Is that the way it's supposed to work? Is that how Murphy's Law works? Have y'all heard about Murphy's Law before? Murphy's Law is when, everything that can go wrong will go wrong. But no, we don't believe in Murphy's Law around here, do we? No. Because let me tell you, when you think that way, it works that way. Seriously, let me go ahead on. Y'all, let me go ahead and get comfortable. Okay? Take my flip-flops off. Cross my legs, because that's the position. I don't like to adjust my clothes on camera, y'all, but I guess we have to, because they need to be adjusted. So anyway, yes, y'all, good morning. Good morning. I'm so glad to be here. Maybe we should just jump right on into this today, this topic. But before we do that, you already know. Speaking of assuming the position, we better ask Alexa to help us out with this time. I have to whisper her name until I'm ready. I can't even know someone named Alexa, or she'll get to talking. And you know what else too, y'all? Do you want to know something? Like whenever we do these videos and I'm telling Alexa to set the timer. Okay, so when I'm reviewing the videos, she sets the timer again by listening to my voice inside the video. So they go off at the same time. It's really crazy. While I'm reviewing the video, at the same time the timer goes off in the video, it's going off again in the house because Alexa was listening. Anyway, so IJS. Okay. Hold on. Alexa, set a timer for 50 minutes, please.
50 minutes, starting now.
Okay, y'all, we're good to go. Let's start talking. Y'all, okay, so I was thinking about something. Today. You know how, okay, this channel, when we're vibing together through this camera, through this YouTube channel, like we do for a lot of things, we vibe through a lot of things through things. We watch the news, we're vibing through that. Some people watch church on television, they vibe through that. Okay, sports, big sports events, that's a big vibe coming through the screen, right? So this is a smaller vibe. It's not so big, but still it's a vibe being exchanged right now between us, right? So I was thinking to myself, not everybody feels like I do. And I'm not trying to make anyone feel the way I do. The whole point of this video, this channel, is not to make anyone feel like I do or believe what I believe, but I sure do want people to feel good and feel better and feel stronger and feel more willing, to treat ourselves better by believing in something that tells us to treat ourselves better, I just want to express how good it feels to feel better and how I feel better, because I wasn't feeling good for a long time. And it's no one's fault. I wasn't going through this tragic life, or maybe I was compared to other people. Maybe I wasn't compared to other people. It's mine. It's my experience. Do you know what I mean? So that means the world to me. It's worth more, way more than a hill of beans, like for real. It's priceless. Our lives, like to ourselves, like our lives are priceless. Our experiences are priceless because they are our own. So, and they're, individually catered to us. It's a wonderful blessing. So, these things that I talk about, it's just all about me feeling better. And, and I want us to be able to do that, to just show some kind of camaraderie between each other and familiarity, is that the word? Relatability, how these things are not new. This like what I experience, it's just not exclusive to me, although it's my experience. It's happening to someone else somewhere in a different way, but it's happening. What I'm saying is, the bottom line is we feel a certain way no matter what the experience is. We feel a certain way. We feel a certain way about life. It doesn't matter wherever we are, whatever we're doing, however we live, however we're raised, whatever we believe in, we end up feeling a certain way. If we do not feel good about ourselves, who we are, why not believe in something that's real, that tells us that we are victorious and we are better than what we feel. What we feel is, if it feels bad, it's not the truth. It's not the truth. That's not for us. So let me just get to this part, what I want to say today. What I realized when I was thinking to myself, because this is what happens when I actually sit down and think, and then I start to stumble, But I start to thank God for, thank God for the stumble, because it kept us from falling. The stumble is where we recovered. Do you know what I mean? And we didn't fall. So I'll just consider it that way. Yeah, but sometimes the way we feel, that those bad feelings, it's necessary. We are given experiences, and we choose experiences based on how we feel. Given experiences is what I mean is, for instance, if we feel good about ourselves, if we know we can finally do it, if we know that, things are going to work out, we are given, divinely given experiences to go for it. We're ready. And if we're not ready, we're not given those experiences. God needs us to be ready. He needs us to be ready. And when we're ready, that means we feel good about ourselves. We're taking accountability. We're taking responsibility for the choices that we have choices we have chosen for our choices. Because we're given those too. And our job is to pick the best ones. And if we don't, be somewhere in our feelings where we're okay with that, and we can move on and try again. Look at it from a different way. Y'all, please forgive if you hear my puppy barking on the other side of the door. Clyde Bodine is looking for some attention right now. And my big girl is home today. My daughter Gloria is home today, so she'll be taking care of Clyde in just a second, y'all. So just ignore him if you can. I'm going to try to. Yeah, so we have to start feeling good about our experiences. And look, y'all, this is how it starts. Forgiveness. Do you know we talk about all these feelings, right? All these feelings, all these good feelings, y'all, these good positive feelings, these feelings that take us away from self-sabotaging energies and self-sabotaging behaviors, y'all. Look at that shadow. I wonder if that's going to be distracted. Is that something that's supposed to happen in real life, like in camera production? Maybe that's something we need to work on, shadows. Hey, it really is something we need to work on. Even in real life, we'll talk about that another time. It's another video. But yes, all these feelings that we're feeling, it all, really everything boils down to forgiveness and not forgiving someone else, y'all. And I think that's where we start, like this, not getting down to nitty gritty, which is our own feelings. Oh boy, I didn't have coffee, y'all. I have a coffee cup here in front of me this morning. I haven't made my coffee yet, but we're gonna push through this without coffee this morning. I have it. I just don't feel like going in there to get it right now. Yeah, sometimes it's like that. Maybe I'll have tea. But forgiveness. All these good feelings end up leading to, like arrows start like leading to ourselves, right? Have we forgiven ourselves for things that we have? The choices that we have, our choices. I want to keep saying the choices we have chosen. That doesn't make sense. Forgive ourselves for our choices if they weren't the best choices for us. But, we can't say that they didn't serve our purpose. You could just say it didn't serve our purpose favorably, but we can move on from that smarter, wiser, better, more able to forgive ourselves, more willing. Here we go. That's what I was going to say. Willing to forgive ourselves. Being willing to forgive ourselves will make a world of difference in how we live each day. It allows us to, drop the past. It allows us not to be defined by what we've done in the past, because everything is not perfect. We don't even want to be defined by the good things that we've done in the past, because we can be better. We just know we can use it as a reference and say how far we've come and how well we did, and the excellent character and the integrity that you displayed to get to that good place, but it's not the last place. So we can't even let the good things define us. With God, things get better. I keep saying that. But when we feel God, when we can forgive ourselves, and we can understand and believe God and who we are victorious, and we will overcome these things. That trouble will not last forever. It won't last forever. It will not last. It will come, yes. It's supposed to. It's supposed to. It will. Trouble has a job too. Trouble's job is to put us in our place and make us stand still and firm and anchor ourselves in belief and faith, so we can get to a point where we can forgive ourselves for even thinking that we were not going to win, that we were not going to get over. Why did we think that way? Well, you know what? We don't know. We were hurt. There was pain. There was doubt and fear, right? We can forgive ourselves for thinking that way. We definitely can forgive ourselves for thinking that way and move forward. And then when that happens, there's this thing about self-worth that starts to trickle in, and self-esteem. And those things can help us brush off those things that were in the past, left us stuck in being defined by bad experiences, the ones that, if we did not choose, we were born into, and it's not meant to define us. It's not who we are. We are victorious. We are loved. We are justified and forgiven. Specifically if we forgive ourselves. But ultimately because God said so. He made it that way. Did. So what he did was, and I'll tell you why. He keeps giving us ways. From the beginning of time, God has given us ways to believe him. And I've said this before. He even sent patience, love, Like right now specifically we're talking about forgiveness, but he sent it down here in a body. It walked around here for some 30 odd years. Yeah, forgiveness did. unconditional love and forgiveness. And guarantee y'all that forgiveness started within that body first. That body had to forgive himself for feeling certain ways. He had to go out into the woods, That body had to say, oh my God, I'm feeling doubt, I'm feeling fear. I need to shake this off. I need to separate myself from this feeling. Forgiveness walked down here in a body. And we should do the same. We should be walking. Look, y'all. I don't want to get into this because I'm not that. Yes, I am. I was going to say I'm not that sweet. Yes, I am. But what am I trying to say? Not that naive. I understand that things will come against us and we need to fight back. Forgiveness sometimes has nothing to do with someone coming against us. In a way, it's not going to save our lives. Forgiveness is not going to save our lives when it comes to like an altercation, like a definite, like for sure, physical altercation. There are other things that need to be done. We can forgive ourselves later. Do you know what I mean? This is real life. When I'm talking about we are being approached with danger or threatened, our lives, our loved ones' lives are being threatened. It's no time to be all forgiving. Forgive yourself later. Being real right now. Because that situation is you're defending your life. Right now I'm talking about just some feelings, okay, that lead us into doing things that maybe do end up into altercations because we do not know how to balance ourselves. We do not know how to keep calm. We do not know how to keep ourselves out of situations that are self-sabotaging. Keep ourselves out of situations that that are familiar, because they are all chaotic. Especially if we lived a chaotic life. Can we forgive ourselves for being born into a chaotic life and not wanting that anymore? It's okay to not want that. I know it's familiar. I've had to tell myself, Karen Hope, that's familiar. That feeling is familiar. You've held on to that feeling. It's secure, but it's not safe. It's secure, but it's not safe. It's secure because you know it. But just because we know it doesn't mean it's safe. It just means it's familiar. And maybe it's become comfortable. The pain, the hurt, the damage, the chaos, the confusion, it's familiar, right? Can you imagine being around such noise, and you've learned how to stay alert in the noise. You've learned how to duck and dodge and, move your way around through the noise. And then God puts you in a place where it's quiet. Did you feel that? What happens? What do you do? What are you ducking and dodging from? What? And then things are not going to feel safe, because before in that other place, when it's time to duck and dodge, when it got quiet, that meant danger was coming. But in this new place, it's just quiet. It's just quiet. What do you do when you've been conditioned to think quiet is danger? You gotta live there for a while, right? You have to be there for a while. You have to walk around in there for a while and, maybe sleep a few sleepless nights with your eye open just to make sure that wait a minute. This is quiet. There's no danger. There's no danger. That's what happens when we start to forgive ourselves. We start to understand there's no danger in that. Actually, that's where the good stuff is. That's when we start to feel and see the things, the blessings, really, and that it's okay to try again. And it's okay. The quiet is okay. It's actually a good place. And where we were before was not. That ducking and dodging and all that surviving wasn't living at all. When it's quiet, we can live. You know, we won't miss the flowers growing because we're not hiding in a corner. We're not ducking from a bullet. I was going to say a dullet. What is that? What is a dullet? Oh my God. Coffee. Yeah, we're not ducking and dodging, y'all, from bullets, and we're not like, somewhere mad with our face down, plotting a scheme to get someone back or something like that, y'all. I'm just pulling all kinds of things out of my imagination, but yeah, we don't have the time or the energy or the will or the desire to do any of those things. The desire and the will to forgive ourselves, forgive what's going on, forgive what happened, forgive that we even took on that weight to even think that it belonged to us. Even if we put ourselves in the position, y'all, God works on everybody, y'all. He works on everybody. He gives us a choice, a chance, an opportunity, and a reason, a very good reason every day to start all over, to forgive ourselves from the day before, and just to realize that we didn't do anything wrong. There was nothing wrong in what we did. It's just we just didn't choose the best option for ourselves based on how we were feeling. That's why we need to keep our feelings, well-rounded and secure and tight, because if we cannot forgive ourselves, here we go with the text messages. If we cannot forgive ourselves, y'all, it is so early in the morning. I don't understand why they're coming in like this. Y'all, it's about 6:30. I just saw it, 6:33. I don't think that's right, 6:38. It's 6:38 in the morning. And, yeah. But to tell you the truth, y'all, that's a spam message that came in last night. And I didn't mark it as read, so we shouldn't have a problem with that. What area code is 917? I'll check that out later, but that's where that spam is coming from. But yes, y'all, let's get back on track. I'm real good at that. Y'all, forgiving ourselves. For God is good, and He gives us reasons. He gives us reasons and ways. The living Word of God is the most beautiful and blessed way that we have. Man, we can go there for everything. We can go there for everything and find out that there's every reason in the world to forgive ourselves and not to feel bad about what we're experiencing. Yeah, we're going to experience some things and trouble will come. But our job is to believe God about who He says we are. Seriously. Know that forgiveness walked around down here in a body. Okay? To do some work, to do a job, to help us remember another way, another divine way God sent here, a divine way for God to show us that trouble is not going to last forever, and we can, if we just forgive ourselves, we can persevere, we can overcome it. It's that mountain that's been put in our way, the mountain of our feelings. We can get over them. We can get over the pain, the hurt. It's very hard. It's very hard to do, especially when we feel we're by ourselves. Sometimes we are. Yeah. But let me just say it like this. In that instance, when we're working on ourselves and we're trying to heal, we are by ourselves. It's just us and God. Because that's something that needs to come from the inside. And because only God knows our thoughts, our true feelings, the true ones, our authentic selves, that energy that wants to jump out every day, but we hold it back from fear and doubt, or not being able to forgive ourselves. We hold it back, but it wants to scream and shine. God is what it wants to do. because we are spirits and we are made in God's image. Yeah, he's a spirit. I keep saying he, y'all, for the sake of a pronoun, you know. I don't want any. There's no back and forth with this. It's just a fact that energy, that God energy, I just put a pronoun to it just because. It's just for the sake of talking. But sometimes it's things like that, you know, those things that we will allow to change our thinking and sway our thinking in a way where we don't trust what we believe. We don't trust what our spirit is drawn to, and that is God. The conflict and the confusion comes when there is no forgiveness for wanting something, for feeling it and saying, oh my goodness, but then not forgiving ourselves for moving forward with that feeling. When we go with that desire, when we go with that passion, when we listen to our first mind, when we follow our spirit, when we take a leap of faith, all of those things, y'all, there is never anything bad on the other side of that. Never. Never. Those things that I just mentioned right now, it takes us on the other side of fear. It takes us on the other side of doubts. And you know, lack of motivation and low self-esteem and not feeling self-worth, feeling valuable. You are valuable. You are important. You and yours. Me and mine. We are important. We are valuable. You know, we are priceless. And these are things that we need to know about ourselves. We need to forgive ourselves when we don't. Now look, y'all, and this is what I wanted to get to in the very beginning of the video. You see why I need to set, Alexa, I do understand. Because I was one of those people at one time. Not everyone believes what we believe. Do you know what I mean? I think Alexa, resume the music.
Here's what I found.
She turned it off. So, not everyone is going to believe what we believe, right? Not everyone is going to believe in God and His love, His grace and mercy. Not everyone is going to do that. Okay? But this, and I don't want to say that's okay, but that's okay. This journey, everyone's journey is their own individual journey. And it will lead them to God eventually. It's the bottom line. All roads lead to God. If you look in the mirror every day and you see that, if you look into your own eyes, every day, all roads lead to God. And how wonderful He is, and how miraculously He works and wonderfully He created you and me. All roads lead to God. But not all roads physically, our everyday life leads to us believing that. That's the hard part. So again, not everyone is going to believe what we believe. We're not going to believe what everybody else believes, but believe this. Our feelings are our feelings, and we all feel the same. Life does bring us to certain points where we feel happy, sad, disgusted, disappointed, dismayed, peaceful, you know, those things. We'll feel adventurous. We'll feel like, you know, sketchy, suspicious. We all feel these feelings. It doesn't matter where we are in the world. These feelings are what we have. They're innate. Whether we believe in God or not, whether we believe in a higher power or not, whether we believe in anything or not, we still have feelings. And these feelings lead us to where we go in life. These feelings take us where we go in life. These feelings make things stay or go. These feelings help us co-create our existence. Yes, I do say that because the living word of God says, we need to speak negativity behind us. We need to hold on, stay anchored in faith and positivity in just words in a nutshell. To be able to pray, go to Him, go to God in prayer, and see what we want, and say what we want, and believe what we want, and it shall be. With belief. God teaches us that. It is what it is. So whatever we imagine, good or bad, however we're acting in our ways, good and bad, we are creating our environment, starting with the inside. Those feelings. If we're feeling bad, if we're feeling sad, if we're feeling dismayed, if we're feeling discouraged, there's no motivation, there's no encouragement, there's no faith and belief. We will see that in our lives. And more than likely we'll hold on to it like that's just the way it is. Like that's life for me. That's life for me. That's the way life is. Nope, it's not. It's not. Now, I've talked about this before. There are things going on around us right now that are so unfortunate. There are places in the world right now, there are young men dying, being shot out of the sky. There are people passing away from a virus that we don't know but that is not natural, y'all. There's a plan behind that too. It's unfortunate. There are places in the world where people don't even have a blade of grass to even see. There's no green in all the arid land, and there's no water, and it's such a vast land. It's not a drop of water to be seen. Okay. How can we be hopeful about those things? How can we feel good about those things? Y'all, I'm just going to have to say, it's not easy. It's not easy to dig down, deep down inside of ourselves and forgive ourselves for even wondering about it. This is a hard position to be in. The position is this: to see all these things going on around us when life does not support positivity. It doesn't support it. What supports being positive, forgiving, cheerful, cheerfully willing? What supports that is our own feelings. Keeping them tight. Going to God and praying. Meditating about what we're feeling. Asking God, why do I feel this way, and help me not. If it's negative. If we can work that thing out and continue to push past through some bad feelings and some realness, like the drought, the arid lands, and no food, and young men being shot from the sky for no reason at all. Oh my gosh. Please don't get me started right now. People, being affected by weather, conditions. Jeez. Those things we can't do anything about. We have no control over that. But we do have control over our feelings. And it won't make those situations go away. But it makes the environment inside of ourselves calm and peaceful, so we can go to God in prayer, focus, anchor ourselves in prayer, belief and faith, feel a certain way where we can be willing to, here we go, forgive ourselves and forgive others. Whether or not we believe what God says about us or not, we need to be willing to forgive ourselves for feeling the way we feel, so we can get some good environment going on in here, and then see a good environment manifest outside of ourselves. Maybe some better friends. Maybe a better environment. Maybe we can get to that quiet we've never had before, where it literally is safe. That quiet is not a moment where someone's about to jump out of the corner, out of the dark. That quiet is actually peace. It's some real peace. We can forgive ourselves for not ever going there before. We can forgive ourselves for, for not believing that it existed. And when we do get there, we can forgive ourselves for holding ourselves back from it for so long, and enjoy it. Forgive ourselves for not enjoying a full day. That's what the day is for, y'all, to enjoy. Enjoy yourself at work. It might be a crappy job, y'all, but do you know that you can enjoy yourself at work? Take donuts on in the morning. Put a little music on in your cubicle. Write little notes to people. I don't know, y'all. My imagination right now, because I remember what I used to do at work. I don't like to use the word but I have to let you know, like, the type of things that I used to do. There was this place here in Corpus Christi way back in the 90s called APAC, and I was a supervisor of JCPenney Insurance. I think I was about 24 years old. Maybe 24, 25 years old, because I was still in college and I was going back and forth from Kingsville to Corpus. Kingsville is a little town outside of Corpus where I was going to college. So like I had this green tea spray by Healing Gardens way back in the day. If anybody knows me from back then, they're probably going to remember this and smile. I like making little memories like that. But I would take little pieces of paper and write, I love you, or gee, your hair smells terrific, or your lip gloss is popping, or love your kicks, or something like that. If I saw something on someone that day that I really admired, I thought it was cute, I knew they would lift their spirits, or I knew that they intentionally spent time on, I would fold the paper up like an airplane. I would spray it with the green tea Healing Garden spray, and I'd throw it at them and hit them on their desk or on their forehead or on their back, and they would open it up and see the little note and just smile and smile. So yes, you all, we can enjoy our day. We can follow our spirit and enjoy our day. Forgive ourselves for not doing it before too, because it does take little things like that. To enjoy the day is to use the day for what the day is made, and that is to deposit a little encouragement and happiness and light everywhere. Do you know what? Another thing, the living word of God says, and oh my gosh, please do not, look, I don't know the words. I don't know it verse by verse. But it's in the New Testament, and it says something about go make disciples. Okay, you want to know how that registers with me, how that resonates with me? Not everybody is called to preach, y'all. I'm telling you something else. I love talking about God, but I am no one's preacher, okay? I don't feel that desire, passion. If I did, I would be sitting down somewhere doing that. I'll guarantee you that if that was my passion or my desire, I would do that. But my passion and desire is this. I feel that those words say, be happy. Do you know what I mean? Show people willingness to be happy. Show people willingness to believe God. Show it. Be that willingness. Be the willingness. It doesn't mean that people will believe it. It doesn't mean that they have to. But you, yourself, me, myself, we should be willing to show it, to be it, to be an example of that. Just be an example wherever you go of that. Be you. Be authentically you. That means being positive. That is being positive. We do not have a spirit of negativity. We do not have a spirit of lack. We do not have a spirit of not being victorious. That's not our spirit. That is not our spirit. Being authentic means to be positive, to forgive ourselves for putting ourselves in situations, because usually that's what it is. You know, we feel bad for slipping and tripping. We feel bad for it, and we don't want to do it again. We kind of like close ourselves off, and we even like keep ourselves in the same position because we're afraid to move past that, because we believe that there's more of that. Moving forward, we believe, oh my God, there's got to be more of that. No. Moving forward, out of some bad feelings means that there's more good feelings. There are more positive results. There's more belief and faith that we can move past that. Do you know what I mean? And when we are willing to forgive ourselves, whether we believe, I just don't like to say whether or not we believe in God, but y'all, like I said, not everybody's going to jump on this God bandwagon. But you can jump on the positive bandwagon and it will lead us to God, period. That's all I'm trying to say. The willingness to forgive ourselves and others makes a big difference in our lives. It makes a tremendous difference in our lives in a positive way. We're able to grow. We're able to heal from things that hurt us before, from the things that we weren't able to forgive ourselves from, that we defined ourselves as, you know? Yeah. And, you know, forgiveness also helps us realize, this is very important, that it's okay to outgrow things, including, you know, tradition and old way of thinking, old ways of thinking, those ways of thinking that kept us stuck and in a position where we didn't forgive ourselves for slipping, falling, stumbling. Again, stumbling is okay because we stumble, that means we never hit the ground. That just means we caught ourselves, right? We recovered a little bit. We got our footing. We didn't hit the ground. You say, do you know that? Y'all, check this out. Just visualization here. Have you ever like kind of tripped and kind of like stumbled a little bit? What goes through your mind? What goes through your mind is everything. Right? Everything. You even see yourself hitting the ground. You even see it hurting really quickly. You already see yourself rubbing your elbow like, oh my God, you know, that's going to be a pretty hard fall. You see it. So when it doesn't happen, when you stumble and it doesn't happen, it's such a relief, because in your mind you knew you were about to eat it. And that was about to be a pretty bad fall. You saw yourself grabbing for things that you couldn't grab. You know, you saw yourself trying to keep yourself from falling, right? You can see yourself after you don't fall. Your body, you can literally go back in your mind and see the things you grabbed for. You can see that, you know, maybe you grabbed onto the table, maybe it kind of pulled the tablecloth a little bit. Maybe you knocked something off the table. Maybe something fell in your struggle not to fall. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Stumbling is not bad. Falling is not bad either, because we learn to pick ourselves up. And whatever stumbling block, if we actually did fall, we know how to avoid it again, don't we? God is good. It all works together. All these good feelings that we should hold on to, these positive feelings, moving forward, they all work together, right? And it all boils down to, again, forgiving ourselves for not knowing how fantastic we are, have always been you. Don't you know that? Think about it. Look over your life. Look over your life. And all of those things that you thought you couldn't get over. All of those things that you thought that you couldn't do, down to, let's pull some things out of the air. Down to the jet skiing, down to that job, down to graduating with your master's or your PhD, even from high school. After being out of high school 22 years, you went back and got your GED. Do you know? You cooked your first meal. You went on horseback for the first time. You know, when you went on vacation for the first time. I'm waiting for that, y'all. I'm waiting for vacation for the first time. You know, all of those things. You forgave yourself. Once you got to that point, those things that you never thought you'd have, or ever thought you'd do, you can look back and say that you did that because of some kind of encouragement or motivation. It took being positive. It took being faithful. It took holding on, and sometimes it takes letting go. Right? It takes forgiving ourselves and knowing, hey, man, I could do that all along. And then you keep doing it. You keep growing. You keep getting better. You keep getting wiser. You keep getting stronger. Once you start feeling strong, once you start forgiving yourself, once we start forgiving ourselves, we can't do anything else. It just continues to work that way. And the positivity just keeps coming in and in and in and in and in. So, and it goes to this. It leads to this again. All roads lead to God in the very end. Who we are and who God is for us. And He's mighty good God. And He brings us a mighty long way. And He does not bring us a mighty long way just to leave us, y'all. Just to leave us all willy-nilly. No. I'm telling you, it's not the truth. He's not going to leave us. So how we see God is here because He's ever present. We need to forgive ourselves and see who He is in us. See how He's working in our lives, right? And thank Him for it. Not all of it's going to feel good. Not all of it's going to be good. Not all of it's going to look good, feel good either. But what we can do is whatever life is presenting us, we can feel good about it on purpose by finding the positive in it. Excuse me. By seeing, excuse me, God, y'all. By seeing God in it. God is ever present. He is everywhere. He is ever present. That's why we need to stay in our present feelings. That's why we need to stay present right now, today. That's why we need to see what we have right now. God is ever present. What He did for us in the past, thank Him for it. What He's going to do for us in the future, thank Him for it already in advance. Oh God, that's a perfect way to start a day, thanking Him in advance for the beautiful things that are coming. And if things don't, work out so well, thank Him for that too, because it is taking us to a place where things work out if we keep our feelings right. But we need to thank God for these. Excuse me, now let me get this off my screen. I'll get distracted. We need to continue to thank God. Thank Him for these things that He's giving us, because in the end it leads to forgiveness. It all leads to forgiveness. Now if we can forgive ourselves, we can forgive other people. If we can forgive other people, then we can live a much more peaceful existence. We're not taking our time, whether we believe in God or not, whether we have the same experiences or not, whether we believe what we can live a more peaceful existence by being more willing to accept ourselves for who we are, our authentic selves. And that's someone who just wants to be positive. We can accept that and be that. We can accept the fact that other people are not in that position. They are not working from an authentic place, and that is being positive and being, forgiving themselves. We can see it for what it is. And because we have forgiven ourselves for that thing, we can see it for what it is, and we can remain more peaceful, understanding, willingly cheerful, willingly understanding. No one's forcing us to do these things, is what I mean by willingly. We understand the importance of what our actions, our positive actions will do. It's not just for us, although it needs to start with us. It's not just for us. It's for ourselves and for the good of all. This is how we create a peaceful, that's what I'm saying, how we have our hand in our own coexistence. It's silly to say that we'll walk around here all mad and angry and then have an environment that's chipper. It's silly to say that. It's silly to believe that. It makes sense to believe that our environment is going to reflect how we're feeling. It makes sense. We don't need God, although we do need God. Let me change that. I don't need to sit here and say, God, 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 when even if you do not believe Him, the facts that God is good and His plan is perfect and everything is for our good and the good of all. Everything. Even if we don't believe that, the bottom line is our feelings, how we feel, is how we treat ourselves and how we treat others, and it is what we see in our lives. It is what brings things into fruition, negative and positive things into fruition. Do you keep expecting? Forgive yourself. We need to forgive ourselves. Let's get back to this forgiveness. We need to forgive ourselves for believing that everything in life is going to be bad. Every person coming toward us has an ultimatum and an agenda. I did think that way for a long time. I will say for 50 years, I thought that way. Every friend in my life, I thought was, I was ready for them to leave. What I'm trying to say is this. They're not going to stick around. They really don't cut for me like that. Oh, lies. Let me entertain these lies until they leave, Guess what? It's exactly what happened. How can anyone be or anything be, y'all? Alexa, dismiss the alarm. Jeez, it went by fast again. How can anyone be or expect anything to be other than what we feel? Right? So, just to be transparent, once I started learning that I have all the responsibility to take all accountability for how people were leaving my life. You were leaving. I don't want to say that we were leaving, people weren't leaving my life with animosity or bitterness. I was even trying to figure out, there are not even any fights. I'm not even fighting with these people. There's still love and light in between, but they're gone. Do you know why? Without any fights, without any argument, because in my mind, heart, and soul, I knew they were going to leave anyway. So, once we start taking accountability and start forgiving ourselves, y'all, again, I'm saying this again, transparency. I don't want to act like I'm some kind of, I know what the heck I'm talking about all the time. I'm just talking about what I feel, what I know, what I've lived, what I've experienced. I'm no expert in this, in someone else's life, but I am an expert in mine. So the authority I have to talk about what I'm doing to feel good, I'd like to share it. y'all, it's positive is what we should be. It changes our environment. It helps us forgive ourselves for not forgiving ourselves. And it allows us to, no matter what we believe, it allows us to step out on faith. It allows us to take leaps of faith, leaps and bounds of faith. It allows us to let down some guards and maybe, just maybe, let in what we've been missing all along. And that is some positive energy from someone else. You know, we need to find each other. Support is very necessary. It's an intricate part of this network. You know, like these videos. Positivity finds positivity. We just support each other. Light, more light, more light, more light. Grow bigger. You know, the only thing that light can do is shine. But the more light you have, the bigger it shines. It just shines more and brighter, right? So it's very important for us to get to a place individually where we feel positive by forgiving ourselves. And then we can find value in ourselves. We can, like I said, you know, let some walls down and let more people in. We can network. Maybe our networking is on the other side of our self-worth. When we feel like we can step out, go outside, maybe put a suit on and go meet some people. Or get on the YouTube channel and do some talking. Or, you know, just to do, you know, make a party. Yeah, I like making parties, and I do think that by Christmas time, I think I'm going to make a party and just have people just kind of network and meet each other, you know. It's a good way to go on the other side of meeting people, you know. Find your self-worth, find your value, meet some different people with some different character. Invite some people in with different integrity. Well, integrity is integrity, but what I mean is the way they operate in their integrity. It's a good way to start to learn and become more positive. And again, all avenues lead to God and His goodness and how He makes ways for us and how He does things like He has forgiveness and patience and unconditional love walking down here around in a body for 30 odd years, and then for 2,000 plus years we're still talking about it as an example of what we should do. What's so wrong about that? Do you want to put some politics in there? You want to throw some things in there, some divisions, whatever? Bottom line is, want to talk about some pronouns? Let's not worry about that. Let's worry about the energy. Let's focus on the energy. The energy is God's source. The energy is who we are. Isn't that fantastic news? The energy is in a living word of God. The energy is in our spirit. The energy is in our willingness. The energy is in our fellowship, coming together. The energy is in our gifts and our talents, our divine gifts and talents that we can show every day. And we're remaining positive. When we wake up in the morning, we greet each day with joy. That right there is a divine gift. And then it leads us out the door, step by step, by and by, toward a divine purpose. It all works together beautifully. So this is why we need to just stay positive, y'all. Again, it will lead us to forgive yourself. Just forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for even just feeling bad in the first place. It's a good feeling just to say, you know what, I felt bad, but I'm over it. I can't feel bad anymore. I forgive myself for feeling bad that long. More transparency. I had to literally look at myself in the mirror, y'all. Please look at me. Please understand these words I'm saying right now. And I ask if you have the time today, your little compact mirror, the mirror in the car, mirror in your bathroom, if you're just looking into a pond of water and reflection and you see your own face, tell yourself, I forgive you. You know what, self? I forgive you for not forgiving yourself. I was that person that day. That day. Because of choices that I made and how I was feeling. But I am this person this day. And I'm asking God today, who is ever present, right now, to help me right now when it counts. Do you know what I mean? Tell yourself those things, y'all. Forgive yourself. It counts right now. What we did back then, okay, we might be dealing with some consequences, situations, and conditions because of it. But all we have to do is come through it. Just have to get through it. We knew how to get to it. So we know how to get through it, y'all. We can get through it. We can. Forgive yourself, okay? It makes a world of difference. It allows us to forgive other people. It allows us to be able to knock down some walls. You know what I mean? Y'all, we need to have clear borders, but no walls. The walls are not necessary. Knock those down. Y'all, please forgive me. I deal with asthma. And so I've had a little trouble with it the last couple of nights. So please forgive that little cough there and a little heavy chest that you hear. It'll be over in a few days. But yes, yeah, y'all, the borders. Yeah, set some boundaries. Not borders, boundaries. Set your boundaries. Have some clear boundaries too, okay? But the walls, nah, knock them down. That keeps us from our blessings. Walls are blessing blockers. Boundaries keep our blessings safe. That's real talk. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go, y'all, because the Alexa went off about 10 minutes ago. And we want to keep these videos right around an hour. I hope I said everything I wanted to say. I think I had more to say, but I guess what I needed to say, I said. And we've got another video at another time, at any time. God willing, I'll see you back here tomorrow. Y'all, but if not, very soon, okay? God bless you and yours. And if you can, again, it's very early, so I'm going to see. Y'all, you know what? It's probably about 7:35 right now. This video probably won't even be uploaded till about 12 or 1. Because whenever I upload around this time, I'm going to review the video. Or maybe not. I might not even review it today. Because it doesn't matter. They're one-click videos anyway. It takes an hour to review. And then, because I'm going to listen to the whole thing. And then it takes 2.5 to 3 hours to upload. So you probably won't see this video until afternoon. And by then I will have made lunch and my coffee. Probably run to the store really quickly. I gotta go get some incense. See if I have some available. Oh my gosh, there's some sandalwood incense that are available to me in my buying pleasure. Down to the corner store. Here in Flower Bluff. Oh my gosh, I gotta hit them up early so I can just get the whole bundle, because if I don't, oh gosh. Yeah, so if you're the one that's going to Mr. James's store and you're getting all the incense, I'm gonna get them before you get there. I'm just saying. Okay, y'all, I'm just joking, y'all. Love and light, okay? I am going to get those incense. I'm not joking about that, but there's somebody that loves them just as much as I do. That's all I'm saying. Y'all, thank you so much for being here. If you like this video, y'all, give it a thumbs up and comment and subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribed to the channel right here where we grow inspiration together. We are motivation and inspiration growers. Believe in God. Yes, God is good. He's so good, y'all. I won't stop saying it. If you have listened to the podcast, down in the links below, please continue. And if you are supporting the podcast, thank you so much, and please continue to support. We will be jumping back on the podcast horse very, very soon. We're going to get this YouTube thing started, and then we're going to tie it all together with a pretty little bow, y'all. You just wait and see. Yes, so again, thank you so much. And if you have any donations, love donations to the channel, the Cash App tag is down there in the description box as well. Solid inspiration, y'all. Thank you so much. Okay, y'all go enjoy this day. I will see you soon. God bless you and yours. Love and light.